All right. I haven't finished this chapter yet, but just figured I'd do some kind of video since it's Halloween, and yeah, I've been busy. Sorry, but I have done half of it, or somewhere. I figure it's probably half. Um, I am a Lions fan, so on Halloween I get all my Lions gear and I get my Lombardi trophy out and hope for the best. And it has not worked for the last however many times I've done this. But there is hope. There is hope on the horizon. Those are my woes as a Lions fan. Well, that doesn't even get to the root of it. Anyway, let me talk a little bit about this chapter here so far and some thoughts. I don't want to push through it. It was a busy weekend, so I didn't want to read it when I wasn't in the right headspace. I have this stinking play thing that I'm in that I have to learn some stuff on. So every Saturday, it's like 4 hours of rehearsals and stuff. And just it's just sometimes it's not on my mind, but I did get a chance. So we had Calm speaking of Carabas, the Odotarl dragon. We got a lot about the Odotarl dragon, which on a reread, Odotarl already was super interesting and on my mind since we with Adjunct Lorne and her Odotarl sword. But then especially in Deadhouse Gates, which more and more I'm thinking I really liked Deadhouse Gates, and I loved the whole idea of the Odotarl mines and stuff. And jumping ahead to another kind of conversation about where Odotarl comes from. It's like this big, colliding together of a whole crap ton of magic makes Odotarl, and even more than that, if you do even more, it makes a dragon. So it's like mages and things creating the thing that could ultimately kill them, and death by something of their own making, which is fitting thematically for this book. Calm is freaking out. Still not sure what she will decide to do with Ikariam in the end, who, again, is at the center of so much of this. I'm still very fascinated about time and if that's going to extra play a thing, or if I'm sure there have been hints, but still not sure exactly how that will go. Draconis trying to kill Kilmandaros, and also has like a conversation, if I recall, with Shadowthrone, where Draconis, I don't, some of his state of mind maybe, but now that he's free, it's like Shadowthrone's telling him to kind of butt out of it, not involve himself with all the stuff that's going on. We had Carabas, and she's flying around, and she's getting pulled towards Odotarl, and everywhere she goes, it just leaves like desert and ruin in her wake, and which is very interesting because it's like magic is kind of connected with even the nature. And I also feel like Calor has the exact same sort of effect. Man, I hope we have something big with Calor at the end. I mean, it's cool what we got, and he did kind of fade into relative insignificance in some ways. But I want to know more. And we have gotten more, but I thought we were going to get a big rise from him, and maybe we won't, and that's kind of okay too. This says 2004, by the way. Had to try to write that with the camera on. Tavor is also interesting because I've thought, she's this unwitnessed because of the Odotarl sword, but also because, she just kind of keeps things close to the chest and inside. And the reason that people do things for her is just because she asks. And I thought, well, maybe she does have some hidden other thing around her, and the Odotarl is making it so other people can't see it. But I don't think so. I think she's just a rad lady. But I don't know. I think she's just awesome. Very smart, very cunning, cold iron, and has this Odotarl sword. I want to read Gardens of the Moon again, in part to get more Lorne, because I feel like there was a lot of interesting stuff with her that might remind me of Adjunct Tavor, but Lorne had a little bit of a temper when she saw Tattersail and stuff, and Lorne wouldn't have been maybe the right person for this moment. But maybe Tavor is so interesting. I don't know everything that's going on for this conclusion. I mean, I know a lot of people are freaking out about this dragon, and there are a lot of, there's everything's around this dragon. It's about this battle between the Forkroll and the Parish, or the Forkroll and the Grey Helms against the others there. It's about the Crippled God and what's going to end up with that. Icarium's got to be a big part here. And even though I don't understand everything, I do trust Animander Rake. And it seems like things are happening the way that at least he was involved in wanting it kind of going this way. And Gano seems to be in the know of things, and Shadowthrone and Cotillion seem to be in the know of things. And I want to hope that even though things seem totally like it's going to be the worst thing ever about to happen, like I like to hope that this is going to end up on a high note of some sort, because it sure sounds like this Odotarl dragon is just going to eat everyone, and then the only people left are going to be just people, or some very few people, and then it's like, hey, we're restarting, but this time no ascendants and stuff. I mean, that would make sense, I guess, but I don't know how satisfied I would be with that. But it's very cool still. But Korabas is definitely there for a purpose. Thinking about this storm in Dragnipur, storm of chaos and stuff, still a little bit unsure. Like all the stuff from Dragnipur just got let out, right? And that includes the storm of this chaotic storm, right? So basically people are living in that sort of thing. Confused a little bit about the nature of that. If the dragon, there were dragons in there as well, I don't know. The jade statue, the jade stuff coming in. Man, how the heck are they going to wrap this up? It's interesting that Silchus has a husked sword, right? In light of what we've just found of the dragons. And what that sword is meant for. And also interesting that we just found out, or I just found out, that when you veer into dragon form, your sword kind of becomes a part of it too, which gives him a very interesting potential for this finale. Like maybe after the Odotarl does everything it has to or will, maybe Silchus will somehow be in position because he's a dragon with a husk as a part of him that even he can defeat the Odotarl dragon or something like that. Also makes Animander Rake his dragon form, like with Dragnipur being a part of it, being super cool. Super cool. I'm so frustrated with Olar. Athil, by the way. Man, I need to take note of that character. That's the one character that I didn't even take note of really until Dust of Dreams. I would hear the name and be like, well, they're not a main anyone, so I need to take a little bit more note of that. And the last thing I read, we have a shaved knuckle card, like a Malazan card, in the deck of dragons now. That Ormulogan or whatever his name, just painted for Ganos, and it's like this. I think it was. I read this yesterday. Some kind of dark center or something. I might have to read the description of it a little bit again. But that is interesting. What the heck? What the heck is that supposed to be? I might read that scene again. But yeah, that's where I got in this chapter so far. Going slow. Might have a chance to finish it in the next day or two. Probably not today. But we'll see. We'll see. And again, glad you guys are still on board and following along and rooting me on and still, and you know, there's just so much enthusiasm that you guys have for this series, which I have shared at times, and at other times I've just been more like confused or, you know, plot-wise confused, but very intrigued nonetheless, even when I'm confused. So anyway, I will talk to you guys very soon.